Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. It was an amazing morning to see the snow. They said that it was coming, and it did. It has shown itself to be whatever it wants to be, whenever it wants to be it. Tina, how are you? Okay. I'm so glad. I'm so glad. Glad all is well with you and yours, Sabrina. Is today your birthday? Okay. Okay, hold on. I gotta I one of my sons is trying to contact me, and let me this must be important. Let me talk to him real quick. So just give me a second. I'm gonna mute my session here so I can have a talk. Pastor Early. Okay, here we go. Now I'm back. I love me some Pastor Judah Early. That is my son. Okay, in the ministry. Jay, how are you, Ayana? Glad you're doing well. Okay, Tina, good to hear that. Nancy, Thea. Okay, I thought it was okay. I don't know. Who knows? I don't know what's going on. Minister Sarah. Uh, I missed somebody. Faye, how are you this morning? Good to see you, Cecile. How are you? Did I say Thea? Denise, I'm glad all is well with each other. What's up, Larry? You doing okay? Sylvia, Scott, good to see you. oh, I do want you to pray for Pastor Judah Early's brother. He has contracted COVID, and we want to make sure that we lift him up in prayer. Um, Cora, you being good? Okay. Vernice, you doing okay? Time for your spiritual lunch. You better cut that out, Vernice. You don't know how much it means to me to know that these few minutes together every afternoon are really impactful and powerful, and it's really touching the lives of people. And I just need to know that I'm doing a good job on sharing and providing inspirational and accurate information. Okay, good to see all of you on here. Okay, Jaleesa, what you up? What's all those emojis? See, you always doing. Y'all pray for Jaleesa. She always doing something. Okay, Pee Wee, how are you this afternoon? Want to remind you. Okay, I want to remind you that don't forget about 6:30. They're helpful. Okay, okay. I know. You know what? I kind of had a bad day yesterday. Just thinking about all of the people, when you talk to people and you go through stuff with people and they're suffering and all of that kind of stuff. Um, Cora, The reason I'm asking you, are you being good, is because I know Cora Jones, okay? And so today I'm having a good day, bouncing back. All is well. Have gotten some really good progress reports. Minister Faye is on her way to North Carolina for about a month so that she can rehab and regroup. You don't know. You don't know. You don't know how good a report that is. She was scared to death. Matter of fact, she told me, and I'm gonna say it today, and I'm gonna say it tonight. She told me to let. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Let me look here. I know there was one. Faye Poindexter is on here, but I thought maybe. But Faye is traveling. Okay, and hey, Katrina, how are you? Girl, I heard you had a fantastic report. You don't know how we've been praying for you, okay? And so Minister Faye is on her way to North Carolina to regroup, talk to Nisi Barrett. She's coming along much better, doing well. Her numbers are coming back to normal. We're grateful to God for that. I think Kari had contracted it. He's doing better. Some of the other ones that have done so, they're doing good. And you don't know how good it is, just to get some good news. I'm kind of like the Wiz, where the Wicked Witch or the whatever said, "Don't give me no more bad news." Okay, and things are going well, and people are still contracting COVID. People are still getting it. It's still happening at an alarming rate. But the fact that if they do and God brings them through is powerful about what God is able to do. So we appreciate that. Katrina Williams, we're going to pray for you. We're going to continue to pray for you. Michelle, she messaged me the other day. Good. JJ, glad JJ is doing good. We have been praying for her. That's one of my kids who had came down with COVID, and she's doing great. I mean, it's just good news. Okay, that God is still able. It's not stopping people from catching it. It's all of this craziness is going on, but I'm telling y'all, as men and women of God, God is showing Himself mighty and powerful. He sure is. And so I'm grateful to God for that. Grateful to God for the privilege to be able to come and to share with you. Here we go. I done went too far over. Let me get to my snapshot. So, who is he? Who is he? The one thing that, as being a Harrison, there are certain things about us that lets us know, Jemison, how are you, that we are Harrisons? Okay. Our voices, we have our Father's voice. My brother and I sound almost alike when we talk because we have our Father's voice. We have our Father's walk. And Michael has his father's voice, which is his grandfather's voice. And now Micah sounds like Michael. That sounds like me. That sounds like my father. I hope y'all catch what I say here. This is overwhelmingly important. Carolyn, how are you? We were just giving God glory for the report of your daughter and how God is bringing her through. Overwhelmingly powerful. And to God be the glory for that. And so there are certain characteristics that even if you can't see us, you know it's us. I was at a funeral at calling hours at Mount Zion. I can't remember exactly who it was. And they're looking at me, and then when I said hello, my voice, oh, we know who you are now because we know your voice. Here's what I'm saying. God is God even when you cannot physically see him. There ought be some characteristics of him that cause you to recognize that it is him. Oh, oh. Again, to be within the appropriate context of the text, you can understand that I'm exegeting, not eisegeting the text. So you know that I am biblically correct in what I am doing. This event is when the Ark of the Covenant is going back into the temple. And as it goes back into the temple, it represents the presence of God. Erica, how are you? It represents the presence of God, the power of God, the provision of God, the protection of God. That ark represented God himself. And so in the midst of this, in the midst of whatever is going on, the posture changes. You better be blessed, Erica. I forgot to ask you, did Jennifer from the Ween Foundation get in touch with you? And so in the midst of this, our posture changes as we note the presentation or the presence of God. Okay, all right, I'll give her a call. And so in the midst of this, your posture changes when you know him. Now, I got to talk about this for just a moment because I believe this is the reason why many people struggle with the presence and power of God, is because they're really not that acquainted with God. For many people, God is the structure, or God is the order of service, or God, Rebecca, is the external activities that are manifested through people, and people really don't understand that God has never needed a person to be God. And that no matter where we are and what we are going through, we ought be able to recognize the attributes of God because we have spent time with God. Let me go back to the Harrison household for just a second. I could tell whether my dad was happy or not because of his external presence, but because I've been around him long enough to know what he likes and what he doesn't like. I'll give you this story. I've told this story before, but I'm going to say it again. There was a story, it was a store called Tony's that was on the corner from where we lived, and they had these things called tropical freezes. They were actually the beginning of those. They weren't smoothies, they were something else, but they were ice, shaved ice with flavor in it. And so our dad gave money to me and my brother to go down and get us a tropical freeze so that we could enjoy. And so as we were on our way down there, we said, why don't we get the smaller ones, and then we can give one to dad. And so what happened was we got the smaller ones, we came back and we handed him one. And when I tell you, it brought joy to his face to know that his sons were willing to sacrifice what we originally were sent down there to do, to make sure we brought something back to him that made him happy. Okay, I'm about to shout on that one. God is the kind of God that if you spend time with him, you will know his attributes even when you can't see him. You will know what makes him happy. You will know what moves him. You will know what really gets God engaged. Okay, and it's an amazing thing. It's an absolutely amazing thing, because you can't get this from going to church. You can't get this from singing the praises of God. You know who he is because of the amount of time you have spent with him outside of the collective environment. Now, somebody might say, well, what exactly is the collective environment? I'm glad that you asked me that question, because many of us really don't understand that God is not just a God who is constrained. Hey, LMA, constrained to a building. When you walk with him, oh, there you go, Linda. See, I knew I had some folk that remember what Sunday morning said. It's personal. When you are personal with him, you know what hurts him, you know what makes him happy, and you know what pleases him. And even when you don't see him, you yet still know he's a present help. So he says, it says, lift up your head, ye everlasting God, and the King of glory shall come in. Who is the King of glory? He's the Lord of hosts. Get this. There's some more. See, my people remember this sermon that I preached through the 23rd Psalm. And the first thing that I did in the verses 1 and 2 was preach over the fact that it's personal. Y'all gonna catch this in just a minute, because when David talks about the Lord is that's personal. It's a personal personification of the fact that I recognize that God has been everything I have needed him to be, even when I didn't know he was meeting the needs. Y'all gonna catch that in just a second. Y'all gonna catch that in just a moment. You're gonna catch that when I hang up after this is over with. You must remember that you can't get this through other people. It has to be personal. It has to be personal. And so in the midst of this, who is he? He's the Lord of hosts. He is the I am that I am. He is the all in all and the everything. He is all that I've ever needed him to be. He is the supreme enlargement and personification of the activity of God in our life. Oh, I got some folk here that understand exactly where I'm coming from, because it's personal. Okay. He impresses my walk and my talk and my existence, because first of all, I recognize he has loved me before I even knew how to love him, no less myself. See, there they go. It's personal. And so when I know it's personal, when I know it's him, when I know he's there, I change my persona because of his presentation. All right. And so what does it do? It changes. Even when and y'all don't even notice, but even when I did the snapshot yesterday, it changed how I felt. Even I was going through what I was going through and feeling what I was feeling. And, the weight of what I deal with is sometimes unbelievable. And as I began to share with you, okay, there you go, Cora. Well, even when I began to share with you, the weight of the situations that was going on lifted off of me, because guess what? The Bible says that my job is to cast all my cares upon him, because he cares for us. Y'all gonna catch this in just a minute. And there are some weights that we have no business carrying or bearing or being a part of. And so God says in his word in Psalm 24, he is the personification of everything I have ever needed in my life. And there has never been a moment where God has not provided for me what I need. My question is, do you know him? I'm not talking about do you know him because you go to church. I'm not talking about do you know him because you sing. I'm not talking about do you know him because of what other people have taught you or shown you, but do you know him? And when you know him and you know he is the King of glory, you quit worrying about stuff that you ain't got no business worrying about. You quit getting bent out of shape over stuff you ain't got no business getting bent out of shape. And my whole presentation and persona changes because of who he is personally to me. Listen, 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 listen. I want you to have a great day. I want you to join me again at 6:30, if at all possible, as we're going to share with you in our midweek worship. We're going to talk about uh, can prayer keep your family, save your family, provide for your family. We're going to talk about that for just a little bit on tonight at 6:30. Spread the word. Let everybody know. Let everybody know. Let everybody know. We're going to be on at 6:30. I'm going to get my robocall out to let folk know. Don't forget about 6:30. We're going to be there. I pray that I will continue to be a blessing to you in these snapshots, these like 15, 17 minutes of coming together, so that we can grow. And if it helps you get through the rest of your day, then it's all right with me. All right. Love you one and all. You have a blessed day. See you at 6:30. May God bless you and may he keep you. I'll tell Lady Harrison what you said. May God bless you and may he keep you is our prayer.